shoulder, the elbow, and then the wrist and hand all at once. Okay? It's harder, I think. It's a little easier to get the patient to relax because the weight of the leg isn't so significant, or the weight of the extremity isn't so significant with the leg. It's hard to trust someone because your leg's heavier, but with the arm it's a little easier to relax. So with D1, we start an extension, and basically I just remember that the pinky has to point up towards the ceiling. Okay? So you're in a little bit of abduction of the shoulder. You should be in. Wait, that's not right, is it? Hold on, pause.
Internal rotation.
You go to internal, so you start. That's not right.
Extensions. You started.
There you go, right there.
Oh yeah, so it starts an extension like elbow flexion.
Hang on, that's how I remember it though, because you start in. You go to wrist flexion and radial, so you start in extension and ulnar deviation. I thought you went into external rotation. That's how I remember it. Yeah.
You do go into external.
Okay, I was right. That's right, because you start with the pinky pointed upward, I thought.
Internal rotation.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this right. Extension, abduction, I was right. Internal rotation, yeah. And then the elbow is relatively extended. And then the wrist should be extended and in an ulnar deviation, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, because it's very similar to feeding yourself. You should come up and bring food to your mouth. So, start like this, and then we're going to come up and across your body. And so you're going to come into shoulder flexion, external rotation, and you're going to go into adduction.
Yep.
You're going to cross over towards your. So basically, you're going to have them reach up and towards their opposite shoulder. The elbow's going to go into flexion, and then the hand and wrist is going to go into flexion and radial deviation. So the thumb's going to come up and across towards their opposite shoulder, and they're going to kind of hook it in towards their face. Okay? So they're going to come up and across, and you see how I have my hand. So I have my thumb on the back so that I can control flexion, extension of the wrist, and ulnar and radial deviation. Some therapists will kind of come around and grasp like this so that they can control the fingers, depending on how much is involved. That'd be for someone who has more like a CVA. But for me, I feel like I have a better control of the wrist. And getting both of those wrist components is hard if you don't have a lumbrical type grip around here. So I tend to leave the thumb kind of aside. You can modify your grip to do this, but for me, okay? And a good point here clinically is that I'm mindful of the fact that I'm holding just proximal to the elbow, and as I come up and across, I'm a man, she's a woman, I'm going to be very mindful to move my hands so that I'm not swiping across her chest. Okay? You gotta relax a little bit more, you're not released. Okay, so again, I'm in that stance position. I'm pivoting on my toes a little bit, right? I'm keeping the limb close to my body so I don't have to reach so far and hold away from me. Okay? And remember, you can either stand facing down towards their feet and pivot this way, or you can also start like this and do the power lunge back and forth like this. Whatever works for you. Okay? But just remember, you want to start with the pinky kind of, remember, that's how you remember. The pinky's pointed straight up towards the ceiling, and they're going to reach up and across their opposite shoulder, and their thumb should kind of hook back in towards the side of their face, their ear. So, I believe in the video, either in the video or it was from last year, we just basically cued the patient to reach up towards their opposite ear. Ooh! That was the other functional reason I do this. I have a lot of elderly people who have a hard time getting their earrings off. So we work on this to kind of help the ladies get their arm up to reach their ear. This is a classic. I did have a lady just this last fall that I worked on with that. So they have a hard time doing that. That's another example, but again, it generally works well for grooming, combing, brushing the teeth, putting on glasses, eating, anything that comes up this way, but that's another good specific example. Okay?